Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. Now I'm sure that you're going to guess what is going to be shared with you today, not only by the title but from the short series that I've shared with you all this week. And of course it is the last and final palette from the Reloaded collection, launched last week by Makeup Revolution, and this one is called Iconic Vitality. So this one looks like this. You have got some dusky pinks in there, you've got more vibrant pinks, you have got neutrals, you've got mid-tones, deep tones, you've got two intense shimmers, you've got two like less intense shimmers, you've got everything basically in here. And amazingly, this palette is £4, as is the whole range, £4 each. And you can now pick these up from tanbeauty.com, superdrug.com and Superdrug Stores as well, and they are making their way to Superdrug Stores. You may not find it in your local, but if you go perhaps further afield like I did, I actually found it in the Norwich store, one of the Norwich stores, and then to my absolute surprise I found it in my local, which is only a few minutes away, which I don't usually check in because it's such a small Superdrug, it usually doesn't have anything, but I was so surprised that it had all four. But I picked mine up from Norwich. And usually Norwich has everything that I want, so I usually call that my local. But this palette is absolutely stunning. I really love especially these dusky pinks here. I mean, I just think it's amazing. So what I'm going to do first of all is just share with you the swatches that I've done, and I've put them in again in 5s for you because it just makes it easier to share. Now you're not going to be able to see this very first colour very well, or this first shade, just because it is such a light peachy pink colour, but it is matte. Then you've got a matte, like a transitional mid-tone. You have got your first shimmer, which is like a dusky pink. You have then got a deeper dusky rose matte colour, and then even deeper, and that is your first like velvet, I call them, but it's not certainly as intense as that, but it does have some shimmer to that one. Then we move on to the second row. So you've got your first vibrant pink shade, like a fuchsia pink. You've got, and that's is it matte? Yeah, that one is matte. Then you've got a matte deeper brown, and then you've got two, that one is more it's less, I would say, orange than that one, but there's two again transitional browns, and then the last one is an intense shimmer, like a classic, I would say, champagne brown. And then the last row, you've got your second, no actually that's not, that is like a burgundy matte colour, and then you've got the second fuchsia shade, which is a little bit, I would say, deeper. Then you have got, and I'm just looking at the palette to make sure that they are definitely mattes or shimmers. So you've got another mid-tone brown matte, more orangey matte brown, and then you've got a matte black as well. So you've got all different shades there, all different tones. You've got a few cool, and then you've got a lot of warm as well with that black. And you've got a mixture of, you know, really intense shimmers as well as some not quite so intense shimmers. But I think for £4, it's a really good deal. And the quality, as we've found out all week, is very good. I mean, I never take my makeup off usually until about 10-11 o'clock at night, and these palettes, the formulation is really good. They're lasting right up until that time. They're still looking as good. They're not fading in any way. I do tend to get quite a little bit of transfer right in the crease, just because I have a little bit of a hooded eye, but apart from that, the shimmer is staying on and the look is, you know, it's looking really good. So I'm very pleased with that. Now, of course, I want to share a try on with you, of course, to test out what I think about this palette. I mean, I'm probably going to like it anyway, just because I've liked all of the other three, the formulations. But yeah, the look that I create, obviously I want to share that with you today. So of course I'm going to get my standard brush. Now, I've had a few comments this week about brushes, you know, why do I use only one? You know, why don't I use more expensive ones and things like that? When I do eye looks on my channel, I mean, obviously I do change it up for certain things, and you know, if I'm going to do a second look with this palette, then I'll change it up a little bit. But when I am specifically putting on a first or using the palette for the first time, I generally use this brush, and also I tend to go for the same look. The reason is because it will, if everything is uniformed, then you can get a good idea of excuse me, of how the eyeshadows perform, how they look, and how they particularly work with one particular brush. And not only that, I love this brush. So if I uniform the looks, if I uniform the brush, and I mean this only when I'm using the palette for the first time like today, then not only can I gauge if the palette is going to work for me, but also you can as well. If I do second looks with this, then of course I'm going to change the shades and perhaps change what I'm going to do with them. But that is why I generally do that. It is just so that we can all get a sense of how this palette works. Now, the colour that I'm definitely going to apply first of all, and it is going to be this. And also, just before I do the look, I just want to mention what I'm wearing on my lips. Now, of course, I always list everything down below, but I wanted to mention this because I'm really loving this shade today. And it comes from the Retro Luxe Lip Vault that was available around about Christmas, and you may still be able to get that in the sale. And the shade that I'm wearing today is Duchess. So I just wanted to mention that if you have this and you haven't tried it yet, or you are still, you know, thinking, should I purchase that lip vault? This is one of the new shades that you can't purchase separately at the moment. So I'm going to go in with that beautiful colour. I don't know if it's going to match the lips, but that's the colour that is calling me, and I'm just going to pop my brush in and see how this applies. Now, as always, I've got my mirror here as well that I'll be looking into. So let's see how this works. And as always, I've got my Makeup Revolution Focus and Fix eye primer on as well. So everything is ready for me to just add the eye look. Now, as always, these blend like an absolute dream. When you first put the brush in, there is a tiny little bit of kick up. And the only reason I'm mentioning that is because I find that if I get a little bit, and I don't mean, you know, over the top eyeshadow everywhere, but if I find that there's a little bit of kick up, then I find that kind of formulation really does blend very well. If the eyeshadow is too compact and you can't get any, or there isn't a slight kick up is what I mean, then I find that the eyeshadow has been pressed way too hard, and I get hardly any colour payoff, not only on my brush, but you know, you have to keep, it doesn't blend very well basically. I'm not saying that it's a huge amount. I will just show you. It is just very minimal, but I wanted to mention that because I think that's why these are blending so well. You know, it is a powder at the end of the day, so you want it to be, you know, have a powder formulation, but you want it to blend, and that's what these do. They blend really well, and I've said it all week, I mean, for £4 it is just amazing. It's an amazing deal, and I'm in love with that colour. I mean, I love dusky rosy shades. I think they suit me very well. But yeah, as soon as I saw this palette, I knew that this was the first colour that I was going to apply. So really loving that. Now I'm going to go in with something a little bit different, and I'm going to go in with one of those fuchsia shades to see how that works. So I'm going to go in with this one here. So I'm just going to put that on the tip of the brush, and see how I get on with this one. And I also think that this palette is very, very good if you would like a day to night look. It's one of those palettes, you've got those dusky rose colours, you've got those neutral browns to give you that beautiful daytime look. Obviously I'm going for a more intense, bright look, but that's only because I want to test it out a little bit. I'm going to do that on the other eye as well. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to, you know, do the looks that I'm creating. It is just, I like to, well, I like to share a bright look with you, just, but you can certainly tone it down. I really like the colour that it's actually made. So it's quite a vibrant colour, which I think we need some vibrancy in our lives at the moment. I mean, January is always a difficult month, isn't it? We've had that build up to Christmas. We're all excited for Christmas and New Year. Now we've got that over with, we need to perhaps inject a little bit of colour into our makeup, and that's what I'm doing today. Now I'm just going to go in with that first rosy pink shade and just go underneath the eye. And the other side. That is stunning. Now I want to deepen it up a little bit because, as always, I find that obviously I've made it quite a bright look. I'm just going to see, I don't know why, but this always happens on this side, that it looks like it's not blended. In the mirror it's certainly blended, but in the camera it doesn't look that blended. That's better. It's just a clean brush, that's all. Now, like I say, I want to, and in fact I'm still not happy, I just want to get that, take that up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. I want to deepen it up slightly. I'm a little bit hesitant to put black on the eye just because I want it to be, you know, a little bit more daytime appropriate, even though I've gone for quite a heavy eye look, or brighter, I would say. I think I'm going to go in with this one here and see how that one works. So again, I'm just popping that on the tip of the brush and tapping off any excess, and I'm going to put that on the outer third and then just keep it quite tight in this area to add a little bit of depth there. Now I've put hardly any of that brown on, and that has worked really, really well, because yes, I want the intensity of that pink, but also I want a little bit of depth there as well. So that has really worked, and of course I want to do that with the other eye. So again, just putting that on the outer third. And just keep it right in that outer crease area. Just blend that out. and that then gives you a little bit of depth. And then what was left on the brush, I've just gone under here. Now this side always looks a little bit darker, even though I'm sat directly in front of a mirror. The light for some reason always hits me on this side, from this side. So this is why sometimes this side looks darker, but in the mirror it looks perfect. I'm just going to, just in case. Yeah, looks absolutely fine to me, but it's just unfortunate. Wherever I go, I don't know why, the light hits me from this way. Anyway, now I need to find a shimmer shade, and I think I'm going to go in with this shade here, because I really, really like that one. So yeah, I think I'm going in with that. So the brush that I'm using is going to be, again, from that Nudes collection, and it is the flat one, flat eye brush, and I'm just tapping that off, and then I'm going to put it here. Now initially I thought that was going to be too dark, but that is stunning. It's very like the first shade that I applied. It's got that rosiness to it. Absolutely stunning. I thought actually, out of the 4 palettes, and I'll be honest with you, when I saw this, I actually thought that the other 3 were a little bit more, you know, a little bit more, I don't know, what can I say? They seemed to jump out at me a little bit more, and I thought this one, I'm going to get the whole collection, but actually I'm not thinking, you know, that it's going to be too, you know, as interesting perhaps as the other 3. But now I've applied it, I'm absolutely loving the shades that are within this palette. It is incredible. I love the look that it's given me. I don't know why I thought that it was, you know, not going to be as interesting as the others, because obviously the brand is so phenomenal. I mean, everybody who watches my channel know I love this brand. So yeah, but it has really, I just love this look. So again, the palette that I thought was going to be the least interesting has actually given me one of my favourite looks this week. So really, really love that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep with the pink. This one here is more neutral. So this one has a little bit more pink tone to it. So I'm getting this brush, again from that Nudes collection, and I'm just going to get a little bit of that shimmer on the brush. Again, as I always like to do, I'm blending that shimmer in with that lid shade first of all. Now this technique really does draw the light into the eye, and I think as you get older you want to give your eye a lot of light, especially in this inner corner area. It just works really, really well to make, because you know we all get tired. I've got these deep like black circles, you know, I've always had them, and it also goes round there. I've got quite translucent skin as well, and I've got a vein that runs round there and makes it look even worse. So obviously I'm using that new concealer, which has really, really helped, but I always like to go all the way around the eye, and you know, as you get older your eyes get a little bit darker, so you want to keep that light in there. So I go all the way around, blend it into that lid shade as well, and it really does help, you know, to add the light and encourage the light to bounce off this. And it really, I just love it. So I put quite a bit on all the way round. and I just love the way it looks. Then I'm going back to my Primark brush, the one that I've been using, and just go all the way along and just make sure that it's, I don't want to go all the way over that shimmer, but just in a little bit and make sure that it's all blended. And that is the look from the iconic Vitality. Not quite up on all the names yet, but really, really enjoy. I'm loving this look. I particularly love that that lid shade that I used, which was that one there. That is stunning. I know the first palette that I shared with you, that had quite a vibrant eye look as well, but I wasn't expecting this look from this palette. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. In fact, this is one of my favourite looks this week. I'm really in love with this palette, and I think this is definitely going to be the one that I use the most of during the day because I love these dusky rose shades. But yeah, love that. I'm going to keep that on my tabletop. Yeah, loving it. So as always, I would love your thoughts. Now I've completed all 4 looks for all 4 palettes. I would love to hear your thoughts. Which ones are you picking up? I know that I had a few comments yesterday evening, I think it was, from a few people that were picking up all 4. I don't blame you in the slightest. I mean, to think that £16 for 4 palettes is an absolute steal. So yeah, an absolute bargain there. They've done it again, Makeup Revolution. So I hope you enjoyed that look. I really would love your feedback on all 4 palettes. Which ones are you getting? Like I say, have you tried any looks? What are you thinking about the formulation? And things like that. I would love to hear that. And of course I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up, and I would love it if you subscribed. Nearly at 5,000 subscribers, so obviously my goal is 5,000 subscribers, and as I always say, I can't do that without you. So keep up the good work, and yeah, I'll do another video and upload that tomorrow for you. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.